Everyone, welcome to the show. So a wrongful death lawsuit was filed against the Kenosha killer, Kyle Rittenhouse. The lawsuit was brought by the father of Anthony Huber, and it also names local police officers and other defendants. Huber, you guys will probably remember, he's one of the two men who were shot and killed by Rittenhouse at a BLM protest in 2020. And as you probably also know, Rittenhouse was acquitted of murder in a criminal trial for those murders, for those deaths. So Huber's father filed this civil case in 2021. It alleges that Rittenhouse conspired with law enforcement to harm the protesters. Last week, Rittenhouse and others tried to dismiss the case. They filed motions, but U.S. District Judge Lynn Adelman denied those requests, and he gave the green light for the case to move forward. Rittenhouse, it's funny, he was trying to claim that the case should be dismissed because he wasn't properly served. But the attorneys and the private investigators representing Huber showed that they spent over 100 hours trying to locate him. They said they finally traced him to his mother's home in Florida, and then they served his sister because she said Kyle wasn't home at that time. And in issuing his ruling, the judge said that Rittenhouse, quote, is almost certainly evading service. He added that, quote, Rittenhouse has been deliberately cagey about his whereabouts and, quote, although he denies living in Florida, he does not identify the place that he deems to be his residence. So I have a couple of thoughts on this, as you might imagine. Also, I have a question for any attorneys or judges in the House. First, there's a lot of documented evidence of how the police conspired with, like, the Proud Bigots, for instance, and others, but the Proud Bigots especially, during BLM protests. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of evidence to be used against Rittenhouse and the police, you know, and whoever else is named as a defendant. And they certainly did nothing to prevent something like this from happening. I mean, in this case, you know, you have a teenager walking around, running down the street with a semi-automatic weapon and no questions. He was never stopped. You just know that if police saw a Black teenager walking around with that same weapon, he would probably be dead before they asked a single question. And yes, Rittenhouse was acquitted. He was acquitted based on self-defense. But a wrongful death suit has a much lower bar to clear. If I'm not mistaken, you don't have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That's how they got OJ. And let's keep it real. That jury trial was a complete farce. The judge was so clearly biased in Rittenhouse's favor, he should have been sitting at the defense table. It was that bad. He blocked the prosecution on everything. My next thought was, if Rittenhouse had truly shown remorse for taking the lives of two people, I think a lot of people would cut him a break. Right? I mean, he broke down on the witness stand, and I think people could feel for him in that moment. But since then, he has done the complete opposite. He's out speaking at events like he's some sort of celebrity. He's in bars flashing the white supremacist hand signal with the Proud Bigots. It's like he's flaunting the fact that he killed two people. He's proud of it, and he's cashing in on it. He's financially cashing in on these people's deaths because I believe, at least, I don't have proof of this, but I would imagine that he's being paid to show up at these events. Imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine if this was the officer who shot and killed Trump insurrectionist Ashley Babbitt. If that officer was out doing interviews, he was on TV and podcasts, he was using her death to make money and increase his visibility and clout, imagine how the right would lose their minds. They would be calling for his execution even more than they already do. I mean, Rittenhouse has been a featured guest at conservative events. He was just at CPAC. He got a standing ovation. Imagine if that officer who killed Ashley Babbitt was asked to be a speaker at a DNC event and he came out waving to the crowd and everybody gave him a standing ovation. How would that look? And of course, that was an officer of the law. He had a duty to protect the members of Congress when he shot Babbitt. Rittenhouse was just some 17-year-old kid, some wannabe who beat up on teenage girls. And then he went to another state with a weapon that was purchased for him because he wasn't old enough legally to buy it himself. And he went to a location where he had no business being and shot 2 people because they scared him. And that leads me to my legal question for maybe any experts in the comment section. Why is his mother not in trouble or being sued? She drove him and dropped him off, an underage child. He was 17, at a location where violence was expected and anticipated. Why is that not actionable in some way? I don't understand why nobody's suing her, why she's not in trouble for child endangerment or something. So anyway, guys, I hope he gets what's coming to him. As I said, I wouldn't wish this on him if he wasn't acting like such a jackass. If he wasn't putting himself out there and making himself out to be some sort of celebrity and hero for killing 2 people. And yeah, I know the one guy was scum, by all accounts, pedophile, gross person. But you know what? No one made Rittenhouse jury, judge, and executioner. Not his job. So anyway, if I hear any more, I'll let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate. Please become a monthly supporter if you can. Love you all. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.